morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to have a look at a new EX and a couple of new secret rares that are coming around. Well, in Japan, it's Wild Force and Cyber Judge. Over here, it's Temporal Forces. Either way, I am very, very excited. Sound like a plan? Excellent. So let's start off having a little bit of a look at Scizor EX. And the lovely Anton Boulay messaged me when Scizor EX came out, and they said, "You excited, was he?" And I went, "I'm not sure." And they pointed out, quite rightly, that I have been championing the new Scizor relentlessly since it was released. This is one that actually came around for us in Obsidian Flames. 10 damage plus 50 more for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play that has an ability. It is one of my very favourite cards in the standard format, and it's one that I've been mucking around with a lot. So with all of that borne in mind, how excited should I be about Scizor EX? I did a translation myself here, but I did check with a lovely Anton Boulay to make sure I'd not done anything dumb. And what we've got here is 2 energy, 70 damage. This Pokemon takes 50 less damage from attacks during your opponent's next turn. And I kind of like this, and this kind of annoys me. You see, on the one hand, 70 damage is great. 70 damage gets the majority of evolving basic Pokemon. It gets the majority of support Pokemon. So you're playing against Lost Box, you come against something like a Comfey, you're like, ha! In your face. Most evolving Pokemon as well. It's lovely. The problem is that for 2 colourless energy, your instinct here is going to be double turbo. But if you use this with double turbo, then it goes down to 50 damage, not 70, and then you're not hitting that key number anymore. So you do need to find essentially a way to get that second energy on there without using double turbo, and then it becomes more awkward. If you go first, attach, and then on turn 2 you go, love it, but it is a little awkward here. Having said that, if I can be taking prizes by taking out those little support or evolving Pokemon while giving myself an effective HP of 320, yeah, sounds alright to me. Second attack here, 2 metal energy, 120 for each metal energy discarded from this Pokemon up to 2. So basically, if you discard 2 metal energy, you do 240. Really, this card makes me wish Metal Saucer was still a thing. Now, Metal Saucer came out in Sword and Shield base and never got a reprint. It's been gone for a while, but this card really makes me wish that we still had Metal Saucer, or that we could have Metal Saucer back. But you know what? This is another very cool card, because one of the downsides of the Scizor from Obsidian Flames is the fact that if you are against something that doesn't play lots of abilities, or your opponent is controlling their abilities, as in not putting too many in play, you can find yourself not doing quite enough damage, and that can be immensely frustrating. This fixes that problem by letting you just do 240. It'll get Pokemon V, it'll get basic EXs, it'll get a bunch of Stage 1 EXs. This is a decent attack, and you've got an attack that can take out your opponent's little Pokemon quickly, and it pairs with the other Scizor. I'm giving it an extremely tentative 4 Wassies. I am well aware this might be too high, but you know what? I've got a fun partner for the other Scizor I like, and this makes me happy. But you know what's weird? How much Pokemon love Charjabug. We have a new Charjabug with an illustration rare, and look, the Charjabug is not good. It's 2 energy, 60. If it went up to 70, then I could do the whole, hang on a second, 70 is what you need for evolving basics and support Pokemon and all of that, and maybe this can work. That whole conversation we just had about 70 HP. Yeah, we don't have that. It does 60, and even then it's 2 energy, let's not get excited. And yes, I know you can use Electric Generator. Fun little side note here, the Grubbin is actually a grass type that evolves into your lightning type Charjabug. Of course, Vikavolt is dual typing, so I get that entirely. And yes, I know that Grubbin is purely grass, so Grubbin has to be a grass, and you only go up to dual typing when you actually get up to Charjabug. And lightning is better, so yay. I just thought that was a fun little thing. Technically, it's bug in the game, but you see where I'm going with this. We were always going to get a grass type Grubbin. goes into a Charjabug. So what have we actually got here then? We've got a beautiful illustration rare, which is absolutely stunning artwork-wise, but is only ever going to be played on the way to getting a Vikavolt. So is the new Vikavolt actually any good? And the answer is maybe. You see, what we've got here is single lightning energy 50, decent but not on a stage 2, or 2 lightning energy, and this incidentally is where electric generator really comes in handy, because this is the kind of Pokemon where you hit 1 electric generator, you're ready to roll. It didn't really matter too much on the Charjabug. It absolutely does matter here. You deal 120, not good. Plus 80 for each Charjabug on your bench. Oh. Well now, and look, I don't think you're going to be getting 4 Charjabug on your bench, alright? But let's say you've got 2. That's 280. That's EXs that are basic and stage 1. That's V-stars and Vs. Yeah. And you can, like, if you get 3 on the bench, then that's 360. That's literally everything. You never need 4. And getting 4 would be awkward, alright? So look, it's fine. And essentially the way you play this is to just have Charjabug on your bench. But here's a problem. It's got 100 HP and your opponent's going to be going after it. Good news is, can actually take a hit from Radiant Greninja. Bad news, does it with 10 HP remaining. There are ways your opponent can work around that. So you need to play a bench barrier and have 3 Charjabug out, and it's getting awkward, alright? There is a lot of potential here, but the other thing is you're then evolving up through your stage 1, so it takes an extra turn. Ideally here, you Radiant Candy your first Vikavolt, and then you just manually evolve the others, but you never get a second Vikavolt until you need it, because you leave the Pokemon on your bench as Charjabug, and only evolve them into Vikavolt when you're ready to attack. It does so much damage that we need to take it seriously, but I'm going to be honest with you, yeah, it does seem like it might be a bit awkward. Hang on a second, Wassy. What about Radiant Charjabug? Yeah, remember how I told you that Charjabug gets way too much love? Well, an example of that would be the fact that Charjabug got a Radiant Pokemon. There is a Radiant Charjabug. It came out in Crown Zenith. And you know what? It's not good. Honestly, whenever your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to a Pokemon V, yes, that includes VMAX and V-Star, they put 2 damage counters on. And then single energy 30 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. This would be a really nice way to add 80 damage to the attack, if it counted, which it 100% doesn't. We don't need a ruling, we don't need to wait for the FAQ. This 100% doesn't count here. And the reason is, I did the translation myself and checked with the lovely Antoine Boulet, and it very clearly says Charjabug. Your benched Charjabug number times 80 damage added. It's not Pokemon whose name includes Charjabug. It is specifically Charjabug and only Charjabug. So Radiant Charjabug, remember, has a different name. Does not count. Sorry. I love this. I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wassies. When I give half Wassies, that would be barbaric, because I actually really want this to be good. But as I've explained, I think it's just going to be a bit too awkward. Also, just one more little piece of evidence about Pokemon liking Charjabug. Firstly, these Radiant Charjabug sleeves, they're amazing. They coincided with Radiant Charjabug. But also, do you remember the Charjabug with a ridiculous ability? I remember. Bit weird, ladies and gentlemen. You attach it to a Vikavolt GX, and it was a Pokemon, so it was searchable really easily, and it counted as 2 lightning energy. It was bizarre, but a really good card. Pokemon love Charjabug. You know who else Pokemon love? Reuniclus. We've got ourselves a Reuniclus, and it does come with an accompanying illustration rare. Side note, I love the fact that Pokemon are doing this lately, where it just seems random which stage gets the illustration rare. It's not always the basic, it's not always the fully evolved. They just switch it around, and I just think that's brilliant, and I'm a big fan of this. I'm also a huge fan of the artwork. Look how wonderful this artwork is. Although if you've been playing the DLC lately, this is a weird picture to see at this point. So what have we actually got? Well, there's nothing in terms of the pre-evolution attacks. So we're literally just going here. We got 2 energy, 100 damage plus confusion. No, not on a terribly weak 120 HP stage 2. Definitely not. But we've also got a really nice attack. For a single colorless energy, look at the top 8 cards of your deck, choose any number of Pokemon you find there and place them on your bench. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. And the first thing I did was reread this ability to make sure I'd not read it wrong. And then I went and checked with Antoine to make sure I'd not read it wrong. I had not read it wrong. Whichever Pokemon you find in the top 8 cards of your deck get put onto your bench. Doesn't matter what stage they are. Doesn't matter if they're VMAXs, if they are stage 2 EXs. None of that matters. As long as you find them in the top 8 cards of your deck, you get them. And this is weird, because the first time you read that, you go, hang on a second. I could potentially hit 2, 3, 4, 5 stage 2s and get them all on my bench with having to evolve up. That's amazing. And then you go, well, I've got to get my stage 2 out, and it's got 120 HP, and then I've got to use my attack, and I'm almost certainly giving up a prize, and then I might not hit this, and I've also got to use enough cards in my deck to evolve up into this, but then also have a bunch of stuff to try and hit with this, and it actually starts sounding really, really awkward. And that's kind of where I am here. Now, we do have Codebreaker's Solution coming in the set, which is a functional reprint of Mallow, different cards, same effect, which lets you search your deck for any 2 cards and leave them on top of your deck. So essentially that means that you can search for any 2 stage 2s, for instance, leave them on top of your deck and guaranteed to hit them with Reuniclus, along with, I don't know, maybe some other stuff. It could work. But we don't actually know here. And that's the problem. This is a potentially very good card, which is also potentially never going to work. And it's another one of those that's a lot of effort. You're getting up a stage 2, you're probably giving up a prize, and actually, this is one of those ones that sounds amazing, and it literally just gets worse and worse the more you think about it. The more I think about this card, the less I like it. I think it's got a huge amount of potential, and I think the fact that you can get multiple stage 2s is redonkulous, and I think this could be brilliant, but I also think it could just fail. And if it does just fail, then all of a sudden, you've given up a prize, you've used a bunch of resources, and you've not gotten anything out of it. I'm giving this one between 3 and 4 Wassies. When I give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. I do think this is a good card. And I adore the fact that you can basically cheat and get evolutions you shouldn't be getting here. But I also look at this and go, that is a lot of effort, and it is often not going to work. So there we go. I promised you 2 new illustration rares and a new EX. I've delivered, so now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these you like. Tell me which of these you're excited about. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Tell me if you like Charjabug. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Matt DS, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.